Here we have a Marantz Model 26 that has been completely rebuilt. I want to discuss sort of the overall strategy of rebuilding a vintage stereo receiver. The idea is that you want to use the best components you can get your hands on. It does cost more, but it's well worth it. And sometimes the cost is not that much more. Sometimes the cost is quite a bit more, especially when you're putting in Nichicon super throughs. So I like to use 105 degree capacitors for the filter function caps, and I like to use audiophile grade caps, the best I can get, the best that are really available in today's market, for the signal path caps. Over here we've got the power supply. I put in a Nichicon LGY series, pretty much the best series that Nichicon makes. High performance. Power supply cap. Nichicon UHE. I even changed the snubber caps to modern day films. I even replaced the AC cap back here with a Kemet metallized polypropylene cap, the best you can get. This is the amp board right here, and this row of caps, and this row of caps, and this row of caps, they are all Nichicon fine gold, the best single path cap you can pretty much get. And Nichicon super through, absolutely the most expensive, best output caps on the market. Put in new higher wattage emitter resistors, these green resistors, new film caps back here. One of the tricks of this unit is how are you going to replace the potentiometers? Now, if you know about this unit, you would realize that the original potentiometers are like vertical, we can say front adjust trimmer pots. It's not really possible to adjust them from the front because there's just not enough room, so you have to like hold the tab on the potentiometer and move it back and forth. If you've ever seen one of these things, you'll know what I mean. I put in modern day Cermet top adjust sealed pots. These are way better than the original trimmer pots. In order to get these in, I had to move the resistors that were on top of the board to the bottom of the board. I had to do some circuit revisions to do that. But now we've got modern day trimmer pots that are much better. One of the most important things about restoring a vintage stereo receiver is you really should do the bias pots, especially. You also want to do the DC offset pots if a receiver has that. This doesn't have DC offset pots because it's a cap coupled unit, okay? These are DC balance pots. And if an old carbon element potentiometer fails, especially in the bias, you could potentially blow an amplifier depending on the circuit design. Over here we've got the Phono board. Again, high quality, fine gold signal path caps. Do not replace these polystyrene caps. These are among the best caps ever made. They're not made anymore, and they are extremely high fidelity signal path caps. Here we've got the tuner board. This cluster of caps right in this area right here. These are all Nichicon filter function caps right here. UPW. And I even put in some Elna-Silmic 2 caps for the signal path. I completed a FM alignment in the stereo decoder section and the FM stereo separation section, and the tuner sounds much better. So this is the model series before the 2200. You've heard of the 2270, etc. Well, this is the series just before that era. It's a very simple looking unit. It's not quite as fancy, as pronounced, let's say, as the 2200 series with the big huge blue lights, etc. But I think you'll find that this is a very nice aesthetic appeal because it's simple, and once you get used to the look, I think you'll really like it. How does it sound? Well, it sounds really quite audiophile, and you can go ahead and watch all the other videos that I have playing music, and I'm sure you'll agree. The sound out of this is rich, thick, fluid, weighty, and really, really surprisingly audiophile given its year. It's very well built. It sounds great. And please check out the music videos that I have on this receiver.